Yesterday we talked about where we think GameStop and AMC are going to go, but let's actually take a look at where they're going because the German stock market is open today. After we cover AMC and GameStop's chart, I want to show you guys some short squeeze plays that have potential to make you a lot of money because that's essentially what we're here to do. And then after, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin, SPY, and then banks. So make sure to watch until the end of the video so you don't have to watch another update here on YouTube. Hope you guys are all enjoying your holiday. Happy Labor Day weekend. And yeah, the market's about to open tomorrow. Let's get into the video. Okay, so GameStop, we said, could come down on Monday to about $22.39 before ripping heads off, and that could happen same day, or that could just not be the case. If we come and we take a look at the German markets, GameStop is actually up 1.63% on the day, but it wasn't always like that. GameStop actually did get a little bit of a retracement, but held up pretty well, kind of built out this double top here, and couldn't really hold it. With that being said, what is GameStop likely to do? It's likely to come down to about 23.20, scale back up, and as of right now, we're kind of just waiting to see what the German markets are going to do. Now, GameStop does not have to follow exactly what the German market does. Obviously, these might trade a little bit different, but this is a very, very good reference to watch. And the fact that GameStop is green is something that we are watching, and also the US market could have a lot more volume as well. As far as AMC goes, we are about 1 day away from finishing the blue cycle. And what happens after the blue cycle is finished? Well, you basically go straight up, and that's something that we're waiting for. Is it going to happen tomorrow, or is it going to happen on Wednesday? Do we need that full day to kind of finish this out and then get volume and momentum in? First of all, AMC does need volume. We do need momentum, but I think the time is here. It's up 1.8% in the German market. Still barcoding, not something that you want to see. At most, give it this day, right? And then coming into the day after, that is when I think we see some action here. Okay, you got to also keep in mind, I believe GameStop earnings were supposed to be on the 4th. Then they got postponed to, what is this, the 11th? Okay, GameStop got postponed to the 10th of September. So you have this time frame where shorts are probably going to get out before then. And then AMC as well. I think AMC is going to follow GameStop this time around and get that rally higher. Okay, so that is something that we're watching. Again, just a quick look at the German markets correlated over to the normal markets, and give a round of applause for AMC because Q3 box office broke 2 billion for the month. So that is good. What is that likely to tell us? That's likely to tell us that since we're talking about earnings, Q3 is likely to be profitable on AMC, which will cause the stock, definitely should cause the stock to move higher. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but that type of good news just means that you should see optimistic buyers. Okay, I want to give you a couple of plays to watch. First of all, OGEN. Now keep in mind the short interest is almost at 14% with 1.32 days to cover on this stock. It is also on the threshold securities list over on the NYSE. This is Origenics Inc. It is on the threshold list. 14% short interest, was up 10.43% on Friday. Tons of volume recently came in on this spike up. Now, this could very well be finishing off its move. So just be very, very careful trading this. It's not one that you necessarily have to run into, but it's definitely one to watch, especially seeing that what happened back in 2021? Well, it did run in January like everything else, but it also had a pre-squeeze before that in July of 2020, and then back here, October 2018, and now you're coming here where we could see another parabolic move, depending on how hard this thing is kept down, obviously. Just watch this, keep an eye on this one. The next one that I want to put on your radar is obviously BYND. This is Beyond Meat. We have seen this thing squeeze before, but the short interest is astronomical, 42.04% of free float. You don't really see a short interest that high unless something is seriously wrong. Also, obviously, this did have sort of a move during that time frame, and we have sold off ever since. But not only that, it's playing out this formation. This formation on these squeeze plays are likely to give us a move up, and it could just be beginning its move up, getting this bottom down here with a large wick, price testing the top. So bulls tested all the way up here in the low 9s, right? So that's something to note as well. Something with a similar setup is BlackBerry BB. We also have cycles lined up and drawn out where around this cycle period you get this move up. Okay, around this cycle period you get this move up, same thing, and we are nearing that right now. So what does that necessarily mean? Does it mean BlackBerry is going to squeeze tomorrow? Well, no, but not necessarily, not possible, right? It could, but it also could just take a little bit more time. But overall, BlackBerry is obviously one that we're watching. This lines up in tandem with AMC as well as GameStop. Nokia, somebody wanted me to touch on it a little bit in Discord. Nokia, we called out very early down here by $3, made a tiny bit of money on it, broke back into this wedge, gapped higher, broke above support at 425, tested resistance right around 455. Next level is 520. If you open and close above 520, Nokia is likely to come up to 585. And if volume is strong from this move to 520 to 585, you're likely to easily break 650, 872, bring it up a little bit higher, so on and so forth. $12. We don't necessarily know how high exactly Nokia could go, but if we broke 12.25, you're looking at around $18. So it has very similar levels to AMC. So keep that one on your radar as well. Of course, if you guys want to take a look at other stocks like this, make sure to go over here, highshortinterest.com. Keep in mind, Cassava Sciences is not out of the woods also. This one, almost 40% short interest. It's just disgusting the amount they're shorting these plays. Okay, I want to move on to a couple of things. What are you looking at? What am I showing you guys on the screen before the week starts? Well, this is the average drawdown for Bitcoin for the month of September right here. That's what I'm trying to point out. And the average drawdown is about 7%. So we have two scenarios. Bitcoin could come up to 61,500. Retrace towards the end of the month, hit 55,000 even, or basically 54,800 is the bottom that we're watching. And then you moon higher starting October and beyond, Bitcoin to the moon. Or you see a drawdown finish to 55K right now, come back up to test the middle of this channel at 59, draw back down to 54.6, 54.8, moon. Either way, 54.6, 54.8 is likely where we're going to finish the month in September. Now, this does not have to occur. You can see that some months have been green. 2023 was up about 4%, 2016, 6%, 2015 up almost 3%, right? So this does not have to occur. It also could be a larger drawdown than 7%. You see, one time there was a drawdown of 19%. I'm just giving you guys the likely setups, the likely scenario. If we saw a drawdown, a larger one, you're looking at 45K on Bitcoin. Now, what are you looking at right here? Well, we gave out a little bit of a scenario with the SPY, but now I just made it line up a little bit better with the average drawdown, which is about 0.7% on the SPY, 0.6, 0.7. Either way, it's basically the bottom of this candle. The SPY moves so much that this doesn't really matter, right? It's basically where we're at, 560 at the end of September. Obviously, we assume it's going to be much worse. Seeing the things lining up, the things that are showing us signs of a recession are much worse. So during rate cuts, September 18th right here, you could just see us crack down and then come back up and retest that late September before cracking down even further. That could be another scenario as well. So these are just something I'm pointing out for the SPY for you guys to watch for this likely bearish month that we're getting into. Now, here's what's interesting. Central banks bought a record of 483 tons of gold in the first half of 2024, and the price is now breaking all-time highs, but it's not all banks. This is very weird because gold short position for banks also just reached an all-time high. So some banks are about to get crushed and some banks are going to get rich. The big banks are not going to fail here, but some banks are going to go down. Take a look at the unrealized losses by FDIC-backed institutions during the 2008 crisis versus now as well. Much, much worse. Speaking of that, Citigroup reported $104.176 billion in securities sold not yet purchased as of June 30th, 2024, accounting for 29.68% of its total liabilities. About 62% of these liabilities are from non-U.S. offices. So these banks are digging themselves a hole. Last but not least, a couple sprinkles on top before we close out the video. Intel CEO to present plan to its board to sell off various unnecessary Intel divisions and revamp capital investment. Intel has retained Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs to advise it on what businesses it can sell and what it needs to retain per Reuters. Lastly, Volkswagen considering closing factories in Germany as well. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Make sure to like the video on your way out, subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications on. If you're not in the Discord yet, it is the third link in the description of the video. If you have never joined any Discords, trust me, I promise you I understand. I used to be the same way. I don't want to get in Discords. But once I figured it out that there's a group chat out there where basically everyone wants to become financially free like yourselves, there's good vibes. People talk stocks and crypto back and forth. You can ask questions. You can bounce ideas back and forth. And overall, the education, the leveling up in life and financial freedom you get out of it for a coffee a month is well worth it. So surround yourself with people that have the same goal. That is the third link in the description of the video. I also post my trades as soon as I enter them. We talk stocks and crypto in there. We have options trading alerts and more. Also wanted to point out, shout out to X. Jesus Christ is Alive is trending. Stock market is trending. Also MOAS was trending earlier. So just pretty cool. The things to see trending coming into the week. Also guys, there's a couple more links I want to show you before the month starts. The second link under the video is for Moomoo. If you don't have it yet, it's a free broker where you can trade stocks. But once you use my link, open an account for the broker and deposit into your account. It can be $1. You will get up to 15 free stocks, and they're allowing you to earn 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash, meaning whenever you're not taking a trade, they're allowing you to earn such a high amount of money with no risk, where instead it's sitting in your bank account, not earning basically anything, and the banks are investing it, making money for themselves. So use my link, open a Moomoo account, and make a deposit into there. They're also giving you level 2 order book data for free, which is pretty cool because you have to pay for it on other platforms. You can see where whales are loading up and dropping off shares of your stocks, which can help you trade. They also have a ton of other benefits, so make sure to go do that. And the top link in the description of the video is for my custom indicator. If you don't have it yet, it is pattern detection and forecasting. It detects patterns, gives you price targets, and forecasts what a stock might do all in one with the click of a button. So make sure to get my custom indicator. I'm also allowing you a 14-day free trial right now. So go get it, guys. That is it. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.